Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dan with Senior E-Bike Nation. Thanks for visiting my channel. Today we're going to ride my other e-bike called the Aerial Rider Rydell. Once I get to the end of the ride, I will show you what's on this bike. Just another e-bike that I have other than my Cyrusher Komoda. So just ride along here and enjoy the video. Okay, we're going to start out in pedal assist 3. Which on this bike, it'll probably get to about 24 mile an hour. I'm going to have to reset my egg rider here, so I'm not syncing with my phone. Okay, I think I'm ready to go now. I'm going to be taking a 30-mile ride today. I will condense this hour video down to probably 10 minutes. So I'll be editing once I get done and kind of show you what the bike does. This bike I've had since last August of last year, and I bought it on Facebook Marketplace. The gentleman was advertising it for $750 plus tax, and it retails for $1,000 plus tax, so it was pretty much a brand new bike when I got it. And I put almost 2,700 miles on it in a year. No problems at all with the bike, except I had to put new tires on it because I wore the other ones out, and I had to change brakes on it. I went from mechanical brakes and put hydraulic brakes on the bike, and that's really been helpful. But I asked him why he was getting rid of the bike, and he said that he rides his bike to work and he needed something faster. Well, this one would top out at 20 mile an hour with a regular controller on here. So he sold it to me, and it's been a great bike. But since then, I've added a device called an egg rider to my bike. And all you do is plug it in. It's plug and play right into the controller, and you set up the settings on your phone, and it's got presets, but it also has got things settings for the motor itself and the bike. So I did that, so it's pretty accurate bike as far as the controller goes. But anyway, it increased my speed from 20 mile an hour to about 26 in the top end. So I was really happy about that, and if the guy knew this product was on the market, he probably would have done that instead of buying a new bike. And e-bikes can go anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000. So they're pretty pricey, but I have probably lost 20 pounds on this bike in the last year. And a lot of people, of course, say an e-bike is cheating and you're not getting exercise. Well, when you're moving these pedals, you're still exercising. So that's a myth there. You will burn calories when you ride a bike. I don't care if it's an e-bike or a regular bike. But I try to do this 3 days a week, 30 miles. I'm sorry, 4 days a week, 30 miles at a time. Some days I don't get as much in. Like yesterday, I went downtown on my Cyrusher Komoda and only got 18 miles in, but I was doing a little video in downtown Dayton, so. But this one's going to be just primarily the trail. It's a great bike trail. They came through yesterday and had a blower on the back of this truck, and they just cleaned everything off the trail, and that was really nice. But this bike is really quiet. I do carry an extra battery with me, which I'll show you once we get to my halfway point. If I want to extend my ride to 60 or 70 miles, or sometimes I'll just change out the battery when I get halfway. And I'll ride home on the new battery that I put on. Getting ready to cross a pretty busy intersection here, so bear with me. It's about lunchtime, so we got a lot of traffic out here. Excuse me. So I normally ride this bike in pedal assist 3, and I'll bump it up to pedal assist 4 here in a couple miles. I just like to get my legs used to riding in pedal assist 3, and then I'll bump it up, which will get me up to probably 18 to 20 mile an hour. But it's a very quiet bike. And I bought some accessories with it, which I'll explain to you once I get up to my halfway point. But if you got any questions on this bike, put them down in the comment section, and I will answer the questions. Unfortunately, they don't sell this Aerial Rider Rydell anymore. They replaced it with a model called a Aerial Rider Kepler. And the difference between the Kepler and the one I've got has got fat tires on it, on a 26-inch bike, so it's pretty cool. And I think it'll do a little faster than what this one will do. But the entry price on that one, I think, is either, I think it's $15.99 is the entry price on the Kepler. And there are so many e-bike manufacturers out there. I mean, there's some really popular e-bikes. But I just like riding different bikes. So I'll ride the Cyrusher Komoda a couple days a week, and then I'll ride this one a couple days a week. Don't seem to be a whole lot of traffic on the trail. Usually isn't around this part of the trail. But once we get up a little bit, it's a little busier as far as walkers and bike riders. As you can see, these handlebars that I'm holding right now, that's an addition that I put on this bike. Instead of having one grip position down on the handlebars, I added these. And it's really been comfortable, where I can switch back and forth when my hands get a little bit tired. I changed out the seat on it. Had a stock seat I wasn't comfortable with, so I bought an additional seat that's really comfortable. And I can link some of these things that I bought down at the bottom. So I'll do that hopefully when I edit this video. But I encourage seniors to get out and do this, or people with limited disabilities. Now this is a bar comes across this 26-inch bike at the top, so you got to bend the bike over to get on it. And I'm 71, almost 71 years old in November, and I wanted a bike where I could step through, and that's what this Cyrusher Komodo was, a step through bike. So I don't have to lift my leg up over the bar in order to get on the bike. And of course it's a 20-inch bike, where this one's a 26-inch bike. But normally this has got a 750 watt hub motor on it, rear hub motor, and it's got a 48 volt 14 amp hour battery down here in the down tube, which I'll show you when I get halfway. And then it's got a like I said, it's got hydraulic brakes on it. But I can probably get 30 to 35 miles on a full charge on this bike if I'm riding in pedal assist 3 and 4. So if I want to go 60 miles, I can do that pretty easily with both batteries. But when I switch out batteries, I'll probably have about 55 to 60% left on the battery when I get my halfway point, which is 15 miles. And I'll go ahead and switch out the battery coming back. Coming up on another intersection here. But a pedal assist 3, I can do around 14 to 15 mile an hour. Again, I can probably get closer to 20 once I get up to pedal assist 4, which as soon as I make this turn, I'm going to bump it up where this hill's at. Okay, we're in pedal assist 4 now, and I'm climbing this hill at about 18 mile an hour. And then I'll stay in this pedal assist speed till I get pretty much all the way up to my destination. It's a beautiful day out here. It's probably 55 to 60 degrees. During the week, we don't see a whole lot of people on the trails. But once you get to the weekend, it's pretty busy. Of course, these are old rail trails, they call them, where railroads, trains used to use these where they, on your left, they took the tracks up and paved all this. It's really nice. We got some of the better bike trails in the nation in this area. Parks Department did a great job on keeping the trails clear. Trees that fall over, they chop all them up and get them off the trail, and they usually will do it the same day. Every now and then, if I ride early in the morning, if a tree falls, I've got to lift my bike up over it. Or if it's a small enough tree, I'll move it to the side for other bikers. But fall is definitely here. Great time to ride this time of year. I can't wait to ride this winter with my Cyrusher Komodo, my little fat tire bike. It's 20-inch tires by 4-inch, which are wide tires, and looking forward to riding in the snow. My wife will think I'm crazy, but this is what I like doing. I'm retired now, so this is what I enjoy doing on retirement, and get exercise too. I've only been putting YouTube videos up really strong for the last 2 to 3 months, and I'm starting to get quite a few subscribers. Sometimes I'll talk about my bike, sometimes I'll talk about life. I don't get into politics and religion too much. We all can watch the news. But either if you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, I highly encourage you to get out and vote this November. It's the midterms, but it's very important that everybody gets out and votes. So keep that in mind on November the 8th. I kind of believe if you don't vote, you really don't have a lot of say in what's going on. Even though a lot of people don't agree with that. And I think every vote counts. Now I'm pretty much coming up on my 4-mile marker here. Down to about 92% on the battery, which is about right. Of course, if you ride your bike in lower pedal assist like 1 or 2, you don't use as much battery, obviously, but it's harder to ride the bike too because you're lower pedal assist. So when you get up into pedal assist 4 and 5, you're going to use a little more battery. Now these batteries don't like winter time at all. I mean, I've rode my bike when it's 15 to 20 degrees outside. You can dress for it, but these lithium batteries don't like the cold weather, where you may get 30 miles out of a full charge in the summertime, or 35. You're only going to get about 15 to 18 miles in the wintertime on that same battery. They don't like the cold weather. A little bit about batteries. I encourage you to purchase an additional battery for your bike. Of course, almost all batteries are made in China, just like the e-bikes are. But you can purchase batteries through a website called AliExpress. It's over in China. But they will, it'll take you 2 to 3 weeks to get your battery probably. It may got better over the last month or so, but it normally takes 2 or 3 weeks to get a battery. Just like for my Cyrusher, my other bike, the manufacturer wanted $756 for that battery. Well, I went on this AliExpress and picked up the battery. For shipping and everything was $356, so it was almost half the price. Same battery that I had on my bike. Now my other bike, the battery goes inside a down tube, where this battery is exposed on the frame. But batteries are batteries, they pretty much do the same thing. And the maintenance of batteries is really important. A little bit about charging on these batteries. They come with 2.5 amp hour chargers, or 3, sometimes 3 amp hour. But when you're charging a bike or charging one of these batteries, that battery gets pretty hot. So I recommend when you charge your battery, if you've got a detached garage or something like that, go ahead and charge it in there, unless it's in the winter time and you want to charge it inside probably. But I purchased some of these aluminum foil pans you buy for like turkeys and stuff, and I put my chargers and my batteries inside those foil pans. And I think that's important. If you have a battery that catches fire or a charger catches fire, you're going to contain most of that fire inside that, so you can at least get it put out. So that's something as a safety precaution that I do on the chargers. Now the chargers are designed that when they fully charge the battery, they shut off. And so far I have not had a failure of that. They have shut off every time. But from a safety standpoint, you never want to leave one of these batteries alone. Sometimes if I don't have a full charge when I'm ready to give it up for the evening, and I'll go out and unplug my charger to the battery, and then I'll charge it back in the morning when I'm up. Again, it's just more of a safety thing. But most batteries are designed to where you can get 500 to 750 charges before you really have to purchase another battery for the bike. What's nice about this, excuse me, and I got to slow down and flip this egg grinder again. Somehow it's shutting off. Sometimes it'll do that. I'm going to turn it off, turn it back on again. As you can see, it syncs right with my battery on pedal assist 4. There's the voltage that I'm riding at 53. My battery is about 89%, so them are kind of things that I show people. But there are so many additions you can put on a bike that where you got room to put something on, you can. I mean, as I mentioned, I added these handles up here, and I've added a mirror on the left side here. And my phone holder down here, I added that. And the bag on the back of my bike, I've got bought a rack and put the bag on that, and then I also bought some panniers on the back tire as well. Yeah, when some of these trails, trees that'll on the side of the path here that'll raise up the bike trail up a little bit, and when they see that, they'll mark them with spray paint, and sometime during that summer, I'm not going to say how soon it is, but they will come by and redo the surface on that part of the trail so it'll flatten it back out again. So the Parks Department's really good about that too. I mean, as far as your heart goes, and your knees especially, and your hips, your thighs, this is really good exercise. But I do recommend you go see your doctor before you start any exercise regimen. No matter what age you're at, you got to make sure you're ready to do this. Yeah, in about another 2 or 3 weeks, these trees are going to be beautiful. They're already starting to turn quite a bit. Of course, we're in Ohio here, so it's about that time. On your left. Very little wind today, which is nice. I had put on my longer sleeve bike shirt, and then I had my warmer bike pants on, so I went outside and I said, well, I better get back in shorts. It was going to be a warm ride if I didn't, but it's comfortable. Up here is, before I go into this turn, it's called the 911 Memorial. This is the steel that they actually took out of, I think it was a North Tower, but I'm not positive. As you can see, it's pretty mangled. So our thoughts and prayers certainly go out to the families. Yeah, this bike does not have suspension on it, so my Cyrusher does. It's got dual suspension on the front and the back, and you don't feel these bumps at all. But I think this motor on here, it's the same as on my Cyrusher, 750 watt motor. I think this motor is quieter on this bike than it is my Cyrusher. Of course, you're picking up a lot of noise with those fat tires too. It's got knobs on them tires, so you can hear that a little bit, but the motor, it's got a little hum to it, but this one's almost quiet. On your left. I'm doing right around 19.5 miles an hour, good cruising speed. I've already come about 7.3 miles. Got about 85% of my battery yet. So I'm halfway right now to my halfway point, and I've still got 85% of my battery left. So, and that's in pedal assist 4. There's 3 different kind of motors you can buy. They have front tire hub motors. They've got mid-drive hub motors, which go under your pedals, and then they got a rear hub motor. The mid-drive in the middle, they say it seems to perform the best. I don't know about that. I don't own one. But I do know if you break a chain on a ride and you don't have a master link or something to fix your chain, you can throttle your way home. I've got a half throttle right down here. And again, if you break a chain, you can just throttle your way home. So that's the advantage of having a rear hub motor. Where if you have a mid-drive under the pedals, you break that chain, you're not going anywhere. And there's several different hub motors out there. These trails, and this is common in about most states, that they will only allow a 750 watt motor as a max. And typically you're only supposed to do 20 miles an hour. Now again, I can bump it up to 25, 26 if I want to. But it is a class 2 bike, so it is street legal. You don't have to have insurance for them. You don't have to have license plates. So all that stuff's nice. And e-bikes are really becoming popular. I think last year alone in the US, e-bikes went up 30% in popularity. So, and it's growing. So with gas prices the way they are, if you need to go to the store or whatever, you can just get on your e-bike and go. Get your basket put on it and go get your groceries. On your left. Yeah, the only problem you got to watch when you go to the store, you better have a good chain and lock on there. And I've got an alarm on both of my bikes that I've got up under the forks. You can't hardly see them. That I can set those alarms by remote. And if you just barely move that bike, that alarm's going off. And it's loud. And they're pretty inexpensive. They're only about 30 bucks, I think, online. Got a little detour we have to go down here. They still got the trail blocked off up here. It's been blocked now probably for almost a month, and they're thinking, I asked one of the construction workers, he says we have up till June of next year, of 2023, to finish up. Well, I hope it's sooner than that for sure. But they want you to take about a 2-mile detour to get back on the bike trail. But I found a shortcut that I ride on the road to go up about 1,000 feet, and then I get back right back on the trail again. And again, you can ride them on the street, so they're legal. Yeah, up here they want you to go left where that detour sign is, and then go another 2 miles out of the way. But I'm going to turn right up here, get right back on the road, go up just a stretch and get back on the trail. Yeah, that's where they're doing all this construction up here. Putting in new sewers and repaving the road, I guess. I'll be turning in right up here. Get back up on the trail here. Got to really watch it on these smaller bike tires. This gravel can be a little dangerous. Yeah, this is where the still tearing it up, and I just kind of carefully go up the trail here. There we are, back on the trail again. Yeah, it saves me about a 2-mile detour right there. We're in about 9.15 miles now. Still got 80% of my battery left. On the voltage on these batteries, typically most batteries, I don't care if it's a 48 volt or 52 volt, and of course depends on the amp hour that you're using. A fully charged battery is around 55 watts, you might call it. And then when a battery is completely drained, it'll go down to about 39%. So it doesn't go from 100 to 0. It's like 55 to 39%. Once you get down to about 39%, you've pretty much spent that battery. And as the battery, the usage gets really low on the battery, the bike becomes obviously sluggish. It doesn't have the power it did when it had 100%. So it does have battery degradation. But I've ridden these trails so much now that I know about what percentage the battery is going to be at when I get done. Now, if I've got a headwind that's pretty strong, you're going to use a little more battery in that scenario, but most of the time, it'll average anywhere from 55 to 60% left on the battery, maybe a little more once I get to my halfway point, which is 15 miles. Won't be long, we'll be coming up on our 10-mile marker. And so far I've only been about 35 minutes. Usually takes me between 50 to 55 minutes to get halfway point. And when I get up there, I'll stop and eat a sandwich and eat a banana, and then I'll show you the bike. And then I'll hop on my bike and I'll come back. I will not be videoing coming back. I'm going to condense this video as it is. Lots of times I'll see deer on this trail. I mean, usually if I ride this 4 days a week, I'll typically see deer at least 2 to 3 times on the trail. It could be 1, could be 3 or 4 together. But we've got a lot of wooded areas on both sides. We've got a river down off to the left, a little farther over on the left, but it'll all come pretty close to the trail up here. And you'll see the deer hang out in those kind of areas. And we're about to get into rut season here too, so see a lot of rabbits in May and June, seems like. A lot of baby rabbits crossing the trails. Lots of squirrels. Seen a turtle before. So that's what's unique about riding out like this. It's so peaceful to me. This is where I gather my thoughts and talk about my bike and other issues maybe. But again, if there's anything you guys would like me to put up as far as a video go, put it down in the comment section. I'll see if I can do that. Got a couple recumbent bikes here coming along. I've seen battery operated recumbent bikes as well, but you're going to pay $3,500 to $4,000 for one of those bikes. They're not cheap. I still like to be up where I can see everything when I'm riding. Getting ready to cross the river up here, and then it'll follow the trail quite a bit, and may or may not see a deer crossing. We got a little tunnel up here we're going to go under a road, and if that river floods, it's going to cover that bike trail up here. It could be knee deep in there. So you can either turn around, or you can carry your bike up the hill and go around it. But that's the only place on the trail that it floods, where sometimes it's impassable. You really can't go through it. Still cruising along about 19 miles an hour. Got a rooster out here. Chicken rooster, couldn't really tell what it was. Got a few little crossroads we got to cross up here. Have a place up here on the left called Killcare Speedway. It's been there since the 1940s. See a lot of muscle cars out here racing, especially from Thursday through Sunday. You'll see them out here a lot. That's one of those things that's on my bucket list, and me and my son went to see one this summer, and it's loud. And you got a lot of smell from the fuel off those cars. It's something I wanted to knock off my bucket list, and I did. Pretty quiet on the trails today, not many people out. Most people ride in the morning. I've been changing my times up and going early afternoon most of the time. A little warmer out, less people on the trail. There are some items you want to carry on your rides. Certainly I always recommend carrying a cell phone for emergency use, especially. And you want to carry extra inner tubes with you if you can, and bike levers. You want to carry, I have a battery operated air pump, which is really nice. It's rechargeable. And you can carry a patch kit. I also carry a little can of Fix-A-Flat for bikes. Haven't had to use it yet. Had a couple flats when I first got this bike, so I finally took it to the bike shop, and they put on 2 new inner tubes. Were pretty much puncture proof. I haven't had a flat since, knock on wood, but that's been really helpful. Or you could put slime or Flat Out in your tires. It's a liquid that you put in the tires. I think Flat Out's got a Kevlar in there where it'll help. They're pretty much puncture proof once you put that in there. Never heard of complaints of people getting flat tires. Here's where Killcare is on the side here, this speedway. Once I get up this next intersection, I'll have 12 miles in. We got 3 to go. So again, 12 miles, we're only at about 43 minutes. That's pretty good. And I'm cruising along between 18 to 20 mile an hour. Down to about 71% on my battery, so that's good. I may bump it up to pedal assist 5 when I get up here. That'll get me to about 24, 25 mile an hour. And it'll use my battery up a little more, but I'll probably still have 50% once I get to my destination. Then I'll change the batteries, like I said, change them out. Most cars are courteous. They'll stop and let you go by, but you got to be careful when you're crossing them intersections. Okay, we're going to bump this up to pedal assist 5 now. I got about 3 miles to go. And we're at 71% on the battery, so we'll see how much the additional speed impacts the battery. So we're in the highest speed right now.
And I'm cruising along actually about 22 to 23 mile an hour. If I went to pedal assist 5 with a full charge battery, I'd be at about 24 to 25. But it seems to be cruising right along at 21 to 22 mile an hour right now. Yeah, I've seen deer up through here along the trail, and if you get close enough to them, they'll just jump the fence. Got the creek down here on the left now that follows the trail for a while. And them deer really like to hang out in those areas. Almost 13 miles now. Normally you don't see a lot of people on this part of the trail, but on the weekend you will. I normally, on my watch, I track everything, and my heart rate will normally be between 100 to 115 on a ride, so I'm probably burning anywhere from 1,000 to 1,300 calories each ride I do. On your left. On your left. Yeah, you need to be really courteous to other people on this trail. They really can't hear you coming. Now, if you got little kids out here walking along with their parents, you got to be real careful, because when you holler on your left, that's the first place they want to go, is to the left. So I've learned to be really careful when I've got kids that I'm coming up on. Yeah, more bikers out on this part of the trail than I thought there would be. We're about 13.75 miles now, so we got a little better than a mile to go. Mile and a third. But as you can hear how quiet this bike rides along in pedal assist 5, that's the fastest this bike will go. And that motor's just humming along. Yeah, top of the line motors that most good e-bike companies will put on are called Bafang motors. That motor might cost you $600 to $800 aftermarket, just for the motor alone. Coming up on another intersection here. And we're down to about 62%, so I've only used about 9% when I switched over to pedal assist 5, so it will use the battery up a little quicker. We got about 4 intersections we got to pass up here. I'm getting to my destination, which is called Xenia, Ohio. I'm gonna bump the speed back down to about pedal assist 3. Crossing these intersections, you hit that throttle, that bike's gonna jump on you, so around these intersections, I'll bump it down. I always see a bunch of them sitting in the sidewalk up here across from McDonald's.
Exercise ring closed. That's what.
Everybody's really courteous letting people cross the road. Of course, I got flashing lights back there, so they know people are coming across the trail. Got less than half a mile now to get to our halfway point.
Average speed 19.5 miles per hour.
This location up here is called Xenia Station. Used to be an old railroad depot, you might call it. Building was built back in the 1800s, and this is basically a central hub for a lot of bikers to come. There's bikers that come out of state to come to this location, believe it or not, because it goes 4 different directions, all directions that you can. It'll take you. So
where are you at?
it's kind of got a little air station right here. You can fill your bike up. It's got a water fountain up here, which is kind of nice. Yeah, I got down to about 59% on my battery, so that was about average on a 15-mile marker. So I will change out batteries here. Get off my bike here. A little harder on this, and I got to step over it and lean the bike down to do it. Okay, just a couple of things I want to tell you about this bike. Of course, I've got the phone holder here that I purchased aftermarket, and of course my handle grips and my mirror. Here's the egg rider right here. That's plugs in down to the controller, which gives me my increased speed on the bike, and shows me what percentage I'm riding at, and also wattage that I'm riding at. Of course, here's your battery on the down tube here, and my coffee holder that I bought. And I'm a big coffee drinker, so. But here's the extra bag that I purchased for the bike, and this one didn't have the rack on it, but my Cyrusher does. But this one here is where my other battery is. Here's my electric battery operated pump I have, and there's the extra battery that I purchased for the bike. I'll be changing that out here in a minute. And I bought these panniers where I can carry extra stuff, medical stuff, whatever. And I purchased also a Bluetooth speaker like I did for my other bike. And mileage on this is pretty close. It's 14.93. And I think my watch is around 15.32, so it's pretty accurate. Of course, it's got the front headlight on it. And this has just got... I just put hydraulic brakes on this. These are new brakes and fairly new tires I had put on it. And then again, it's got a 6-speed Shimano shifter, which is average for a shifter. Derailleur down here, I think is not the best on the market, but it gets the job done. Again, this is an entry-level bike at $1,000 when it was brand new, so. Here's the seat that I did change out. It's a lot more comfortable. And then, of course, I bought an extra bag here that I can put my keys in or whatever. And so it's pretty much fully equipped. But like I said, if you got any questions on this, I'm gonna go ahead and take this off here. But again, if you got any questions about the bike itself, leave comments down in the comment section, and I will see if I can help you out. But I'm glad you rode along with me today. Share, like, and subscribe to my channel. Hit that smash that subscribe channel down there, and I will see you on the next video.